All right. Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Aquath that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing, that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shawab Amawan Salakia. Back at you with another lesson. I'm going into the title. All right. It's a cold, cold world. All right. Better have your Northface on. All right. And we're about to have a great storm come upon us, as everybody's been speaking about on the news. All right. Which you already know that Esau likes to, make it bigger than what it is, to put people in a panic attack, put people in a panic buying. Shelves are clearing out. People going crazy right now all over the stores. All right, for this preparing for the storm that's supposed to take over, I believe it's 40 states. All right, so it's supposed to hit hard all over the United States, which ultimately that's Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, bringing a storm, all right, upon this place. All right, because the Lord has his way with the storm and the tempest. All right, when it comes to certain things. All right. As a matter of fact, let me grab this. This is some precept that I want. All right, let's grab I wanted a particular one. I'll grab this. This is Isaiah 28:2. We're gonna look at this spiritually, right? Behold, let me go into it real quick. All right, because this really goes into captivity when Ephraim was going into captivity, right? But we're gonna use this in the spiritual point, right? Behold, the Lord Yahweh Shai has a mighty and strong one, right? Which as the tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing, shall cast down to the earth with the hand. All right. And the Lord, man, when he wants to bring certain types of, troubles upon us, one of the things that he does is, by earthquakes, okay, by hurricanes, tornadoes, all right, by storms like what you're about to see. Shalom, Sister Yahweh Bashim Shah Brakatah. You're about to see a great storm being brought upon America, and he gonna frost this place, man. He about to sub-zero this place, right? And with all the things that are going on, all right, which there was just another shooting yesterday, so that's the third shooting, all right, going into these ice cream agents going into ice, right? At the same time, the Lord about to bring ice upon America, you see? So it's all going hand in hand if you could receive it through the spirit, all right, how these things are playing out. Okay, so these devils are going to be geared up for times like this. Okay, they got they military gear on. They got their little their little hot hand warmers, on their toes, on their body. Okay, so they ready for war. You see, on top of that, a lot of these people probably be taking all types of energy drinks, all types of drugs to keep their ass warm, liquor, so while all this shit is going on at the same time of this storm coming, and it's going to be cold as hell, right? And they're actually bringing out a lot of state of emergencies, all right, before it even happens. Remember that these devils are still knocking on doors, all right, and knocking doors down, okay? They still going to be in the process of doing what they do, you see, because a lot of these storms are always man-made. And like I said, this is all of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, okay? So even if it's man-made, the Lord put the spirit on them to do it, okay? To create superstorms, to create, these manipulated storms. All right, they use their HARP stations to basically create superstorms. They know how to hold back, rain. They know how to cloud seed, as the as they tell you in these scientific shows, okay? They're able to do all types of different manipulation with weather. So here it is, they'll hold back a lot of weather that's supposed to actually hit to create a superstorm, okay, through these HARP stations. And that's what you're seeing right now. For a whole storm to hit America the way it's about to hit, man, that's got to be from on high first, but also in a combination of the science and HARP stations that these devils got to manipulate it, okay? I ain't felt this, man, today. You could feel it. As a matter of fact, last night you felt that shit even worse. It was freezing yesterday because I was going back and forth into my car. And literally, man, yeah, man, you can feel it through the windows with the heat on. You can feel it in your house through the windows with the heat on. You see? So it's definitely about to be a heavy, heavy storm. All right. And that's something that we have to be mindful, as the scriptures tell you. Let's grab that real quick. All right. We're in the middle of dead winter. All right. And the scriptures say in Matthew 24, verse, I think it's like, give me 1 second. Where is it at? I'm passing right by. I know I am. Where's it at? Where's it at? Okay, here we go. It says 20. It says, and I'll take it from 19. It says, woe unto them that are with child and to them that give suck in those days. Okay. NLT says how terrible it will be for pregnant women and for nursing mothers in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. All right. When you go into that word flight, all right, I believe it goes into escape. Okay. Let me go into it real quick. All right. It goes into fugue, right? It says flight. Yeah, it says example of fleeing or escape. Imagine if shit goes down and they crash this system, they crash the dollar, all while this storm is happening. You see? People have panic bought already, panic bought. All right. You go to these stores, they're fucking empty. Their shelves are empty. Is there certain things? Yeah, absolutely. But see, people are just stupid when it comes to situations like this, and they just go, you know, they follow each other. Monkey see, monkey do. So they see people taking a certain product, they just gonna go right behind it and clear it out. You see? Because they're like, oh man, in their mind, they see these things disappearing. So they're just like, okay, let me grab that. Even though I don't need it, let me grab that. You know? So imagine you having babies, right? And I know Similac is off them shelves right now because just in case people can't get to the stores, they want to be able to feed their babies. You know, a lot of these people don't do it naturally. They don't do it like you're supposed to, you know, feeding off the tit. Okay. But they out there, you know, buying Similacs out, you know. Now, let's say we're in a lockdown in the middle of all this. This is just hypothetically speaking, man. Imagine we get put with a lockdown at the same time, you know. Imagine them cutting the power off at the same time, calling martial law at the same time. You see, you got to think about this. Is why you have to pray unto Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai that you're always worthy to escape these things, because things can happen from one day to another. You know, the elders talk about that all the time, man. In 2 hours, something could just end this whole shit to go into total mayhem and total chaos. And then, you know, these people are not stabilized in the mind with knowledge and wisdom, so they just gonna panic. You see? So imagine, you know, they cleared out these shelves and you need to get food and you can't get there. You need to get to the store, you can't get there because, you know, ice all over the place. And I mean like ice as in actual ice. Things are frosted, you know, frozen, which I've been seeing a lot of. I think it was in Michigan. I seen a pipe had burst from the cold, and it actually caused a leakage. But then the whole entire, block was just iced out, completely frozen. Cars frozen in place. You see, these are things that are gonna happen, man. All right, these are troubles, part of the troubles. All right, that the Lord's gonna bring upon our people. A lot of people gonna go starving. How about the bums that don't have no house, no place to stay? You know, no little cove and cave that they can go into. You see, these people gonna freeze to death out here, man. Which a couple years back, there was I believe it was in like 2022. You know, they were finding people frozen, bums frozen in bags and shit, trying to keep themselves warm from everything that was, you know, from the cold that was coming. People were just straight frozen on the ground, curled up. You know, some of them were still alive, but they were just literally frozen to the ground. You see, not everybody has the fortunate, you know, situation of being able to have a place to stay. Okay. And remember, a lot of people have been going homeless. A lot of people been going through losing their homes, period. You see, like I said, imagine your power getting cut off in the dead winter like this, and it's cold as hell. And today is 13 degrees over here where I'm at. Let me make sure. All right. Today's weather. Today's forecast. It's 18 degrees right now over here. And I'm in my car, and I can exactly 2021 in Texas. Yep. All right. Literally, like I'm talking and frost is coming out of my mouth right now. You see, you might not be able to see, but I see it literally coming out of my mouth, and I'm in my car I just had the heat on, so it was a little warm, you know, but it's still coming out of my mouth. That little frost, that little breath, that cold breath. When you go out there, I was just outside trying to put some antifreeze in my car. This shit was freezing out there. So it's 18 degrees out here, man. Okay. Imagine for those bums. Imagine they cut off these lights and you can't turn on your heat. That shit goes right through your windows, man. Now your whole house is cold. Matter of fact, the other day, in my unit, there was no hot water in my unit for a whole day. You know, they fixed it the next day. Call Elohim like Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. But imagine you can't even take a shower because that shit is cold as hell, frozen. You know, who the hell wants to take a cold ass shower in the middle middle of winter, man? You get sick like that. Okay. Good thing we, you know, boiled up some water. You had to do it the old school way. But still, what about power gets turned off and you can't boil some water? You can't turn on a little space heater to keep warm. People start getting sick. You know, this is sick season right now. People getting sick all over the place with the sniffles, with the flu. And you can't get to the store to go get some medicine because people cleared that shit out. You see? These are things that we have to be mindful of and constantly take into consideration, man. And as the scriptures say, pray that your flight be not in the winter. Imagine you imagine you having to try to escape in the middle of dead winter like this, man, where you got to leave your home because ice done knocked your shit down and you trying to haul ass. You know, the Lord put the spirit on you to run, basically. Remember, the Lord said we're going to be as pilgrims upon the earth, man. You see? Meaning we're going to be uncomfortable. We're going to be moving from one place to another. There's going to be no such thing as I stand still. You see? So, you know, with all this shit, like I said, panic buying going on is very well, might not be in my town, might not be in your town, in your state, in my state, but it's going to happen somewhere. All right, where they're going to take advantage of what's going on. And Minneapolis is a cold place. So a lot of shit's already amped up in Minneapolis, man. All right. So imagine when this fucking storm hits, which is supposed to come, but I believe tomorrow. Supposed to come tomorrow, might come today. It might come today, you know. But it might come tomorrow, regardless. It could come whenever the Lord feels like bringing it. All right. And here it is. Ice Ages is in the middle of them knocking doors down and shit. They taking kids out of their house without a care in the world, man. Take your kids out of there butt ass naked. Take you out of there butt ass naked. Don't give you a chance to put on some attire. You know, they just throwing you and rounding you at your asses up in the paddy wagon. All right. While they nice and warm and doing what they got to do. You know, they got quads with snow plows on that shit to move around. They got big ass trucks that are pretty much ready for the winter. You ain't ready for none of that. When the Lord comes, he comes as a thief in the night. All right. That's just not in the time of Jacob's trouble. That's just not in the time of the RFID. All right. That's just not in the time of World War III. The Lord always comes like a thief in the night, man. When it comes down to it, he always catches you off guard. You see? As a matter of fact, it tells you that in 24, same chapter, Matthew 24, all the way at the bottom, right? It says, Yeah, it says 48. But if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, all right? And these people are evil servants because none of them, most of these people are no servants at all. But those that know the word and doing it wrong, playing around with this word, they evil servants. And you consider these 2/3 that are wicked and bugged out evil servants because they're not serving the Heavenly Father. And their analogy is that the Lord is never going to come. The time for the vision is far off, as the scriptures tell you in Ezekiel, the 12th chapter, man. That's their mentality. You see, it says, my Lord delayeth his coming and shall begin to smite his fellow servants and to eat and drink with the drunken. The Lord Yahushai, all right, the Lord Salakia of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of. You see, NLT says the master will return unannounced and unexpected. So when these people getting put to death, all right, that's the Lord visiting you, because unto our Lord belong the issues of death, you see? So the Lord literally is visiting you in a time that you least expect it. You never know when it's going to be your time to go. You hear that shit in the world all the time, man. So that's why you got to be prepared and stay prepared so you ain't got to get ready when that time comes, all right? Because you know judgment is out right now. The Lord is bringing heavy judgment upon people, okay? And a lot of people about to, if this storm really does hit the way they say it's going to hit, which is a possible chance, all right? Look at how Russia's looking right now. Russia looking like fucking snow caps everywhere, man. People jumping off of buildings to sled, all right? Which they're used to that type of shit over there, but America ain't used to this shit, okay? This is supposed to be a record-breaking storm that hasn't been seen in a long time, man, okay? Type of storms that I've seen, shit like this was storms when I was a kid. I remember when I was a kid, storms like this were actually, you know, popping all the time because seasons were in their right. You know, you will get your seasons, your 4 seasons. Nowadays, you don't even get 4 seasons, man. You go from hot to cold. That's it. There really ain't no in between. And then it'll be hot in the middle of dead winter, and then it'll be cold as hell in the middle of dead summer type shit. So everything is ass backwards here, man. But if this shit does happen the way it's supposed to go down and the Lord, you know, allows it, a lot of people gonna die, man. A lot of people gonna freeze. A lot of things are gonna happen and put you in bad predicaments, okay? A lot of people's gonna be tried, you see? And like I said, in the midst of all this, you got people kicking down doors. Imagine you have to flee. That's a scary time. It's a scary thought. You know, I was thinking about that shit last night and pondering about it last night, man. A whole lot of shit is about to happen with, especially with cutting lights out, because that's one. Matter of fact, I'm over here talking too much. Let me grab the I believe it was an article I saved. They were saying that they're gonna cut off the lights, man. Let me see. Where the hell was that? There was an article I was reading that they were saying, be prepared for many, it might be in Instagram, be prepared for a lot of lights to be cut off, okay? Literally. Because they have the power to cut your lights off. So all they got to do is use this storm and say, boop. Yeah, the storm did it, my bad. We gotta, you know, we gotta get these power lines up. It's gonna take weeks, you know, for this to happen. Okay? Yeah, let me just grab that. This is Amos 5:19, and it says, if a man did flee, as if a man did flee, and a bear met him and went into a house and leaned his hand on the wall and the serpent bit him. Yeah, because if we have to escape in times like that, and in times like this, yeah, you got to take into consideration things like that, man. The Lord right now is man, he got unknown creatures pulling up all of a sudden. You be seeing it on the web all the time. Some of it be fake, all right, with the stupid ass AI, but some of these things are actually coming about. Unknown creatures, newly created. You see? You might have to escape in an area where there's bears and shit. You got to escape into the woods, to the mountains. You out there fucking around fighting mountain lions and bears, you know? you try and escape it, and you go into a house that you see that's something to hide out in. Next thing you know, you in there and the snake bites your ass. You see? So any of these things are possible. Okay, let me see if I find this video real quick. Give me 1 second. All right, I believe it's in Instagram. All right, but like I said, they were saying that a lot of power outages, a lot of necessities are going to go. You know, a lot of things are going to freeze and going to become worthless. Because what happens when things freeze and then they unfreeze? You know, they get watery. You know, it's not like they got you preserved in a fucking lab, or they have these things preserved in a certain place and they know how to, you know, defrost it in a certain manner. Okay. But yeah, look. Yeah, it says winter storms will cause historic power grid and blackouts. No power.
People that control the weather, I mean, forecast just said a great storm is coming our way. Not just any storm, but one of the worst storms we've seen in years. Do you believe this? Once people heard that news, you know what they did? They went right to the supermarket for eggs, meat, water. I mean, they really acted like this snowstorm is going to be the end of the world. This video is about to get a little dark and a little deep. Stay with me. Ever wonder why the media spend billions of dollars every year to control our energy? What we see, what we hear, what we feel, what we go through, what we should be doing? This is great marketing. When they say a major storm is going to take place, people run to the supermarket. This is a great marketing strategy. But it go a little deeper. When you hear someone say we are having a spiritual war, just know we are having a weather war at the same time. Yes, our emotions is connected to the weather. This is one of the reasons why they keep
going off on that part. You know what I'm saying? That's just some dumbass philosophy. All right, but he's absolutely right with them using that is a tactic. It's called for panic buying, you know, to clear out the shelves. Because remember, when these devils see these storms coming, all right, they have the power to manipulate them and play with them, right? But they know that all storms come of the Heavenly Father. So they always have the mentality, these elites, like, all right, maybe the Lord gonna come with some heavy storm. Let's see what we could do with it. All right. So in a way, spiritually, they know that it's the Lord, you see? So they're gonna make people panic just in case it's one of those storms that they can't manipulate, and it's of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and people already, you know, unaware for it, you know, not ready for it, okay? Bugged out already in their minds, you see? So it goes hand in hand together, all right? And what they're doing right now is that they're definitely making people panic buy, because people been buying panic buying since fucking what's today? Friday, Saturday. They've been panic buying since Tuesday. I be in the stores all the time since Tuesday, because I went shopping Tuesday. Shit was already gone in Tuesday. I mean, meat was gone. Let me put it to you like this. The only thing that was left was the most expensive shit that was $50 for like 2 pieces of meat, you know, your filet mignons and shit like that. Shit that you don't even need. But the shit that was cheap was gone. Okay, a lot of canned goods was gone. You see, there was certain things on the shelves by Tuesday, though. We haven't even got to the weekend. We don't even know if this storm going ahead. You know how many times the government told you that we gonna have this great storm, and then everybody panic buys, and then when you go to look, that shit never comes and never came. Now you stuck with all this food. Now you put yourself in a broke situation because you did too much. You know what I'm saying? You're a little short on the rent because you prepared yourself for something that didn't come. So now you got to make up for that. You know? So, you know, him going off on how we spiritually connected to the weather. Yeah, he going off on that shit, you know?
Big ass cities, all bunched together, all crowded, nowhere to go. This is really—
Now that is true. See, because our people, we're in the ghetto, right? The dwelling place of the Jews, right? They put us together on top of each other, and situations like this, that's what makes us go in a frenzy amongst ourselves, because we're all next to each other, you see? It's not like this is the countryside where we're all spread out and we got acres of land. When you live in these major cities, you know, California, Florida, Chicago, New York, you see, these are all major cities, and we're all bunched on top of each other. So when shit happens and shit hits the fan, all right, we either come together or we become fucking wicked as hell, which that's mostly what we mostly do, is we become wicked as hell and we all start thinking survival of the fittest. We start thinking of ourselves, you see? And people start trying to plot to see who got what. You know, oh, I know that guy right there. He got mad shit in his house. You know, niggas is trying to steal your generators and shit. Niggas is trying to steal your food because they always see you piling up. That's why it ain't good to be a doomsday prepper. You see? That's why it's beautiful to have the spirit and faith of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah, because you don't need none of that shit. You see? Is it good to be prepared for certain things? Yeah, absolutely. I got about fucking 15 cases of water in my shit right now. You see? Just in case. And I do that every 2 weeks when we get paid up in here. We'll grab, you know, three of them. And we drink a lot of water anyway, so we grab 3 of them just to be safe, just in case we can't get to the store. You see? And now you're already prepared. But see, you got niggas that got 2 rooms full of fucking all types of shit that they don't even need, man. And the Lord gonna preserve that for us in the time of Jacob's trouble. The hell is that? My car's smoking. Oh, it might be that antifreeze that dripped on there a little bit. So, you know, the Lord gonna preserve all of that for us. You see? He gonna save all these hideouts, these little mini bunkers for us to eat in a time of trouble, in the time of us being as pilgrims upon the earth. Okay? Because the Lord said, my servants shall eat and they shall hunger. My servants shall drink and they shall thirst. So as long as we keep our faith high, all right, the Lord gonna always provide a way for us, man. All right.
Rat race. Just imagine being around a bunch of people you don't want to be around. Your temperature in your body will rise. You will become angry. The temperature in your body will rise. These people are using the heart to control our emotions because they understand our emotions is what controls the weather. We are really having a weather war. They can make it rain, make it snow, hurricanes, earthquakes, any storm you can think of, they are doing it. So anytime we have a major storm that kills so many people, what do we say? Mother Nature did it. It wasn't Mother Nature, it was heart.
And that's facts. And that's facts. That's exactly what they do. They're able to control, you know, manipulate that weather. And that's exactly what they say. Oh, Mother Nature took out, you know, 500 people with this tornado this month, you see, when all of that shit was designed by them, you know. So these devils is out. They have, remember, George Bush said, while when he was in presidency, he had said some key shit that always stuck with me. He said that they have the power to control every aspect of life. So in every aspect of life, they have a certain tactic for it, you see. So they know that this is a season for certain storms. They read through their stupid ass technology that a polar vortex was coming. So now they're able to manipulate it before it gets here. Now they're able to create it into a super storm. Now they're able to use that, all right, to depopulate a couple of people in the process, you know. Like I said earlier, you got the middle of ice going down. You got a whole bunch of shit with ice going on right now. So they're going to be kicking doors down in the process of that. Man, it's about to get ugly as hell out here, man. And this is why you have to stay prayed up. Let's grab this real quick, all right? That you're accounted worthy to escape these things, okay? This is Luke 21. And 36, and it reads, watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. All right, see, so you have to be accounted worthy by staying prayed up. That's why prayer is so important, man, because that's how you draw close to the Heavenly Father, man. The Lord hears our cries, our prayers. All right. Let me grab this. This is Ecclesiasticus 35 and 17. And it says, the prayer of the humble pierceth the clouds until it come nigh he will not be comforted, and it will not depart till the Most High Yahweh shall behold to judge righteously and execute judgment. You see? So our prayers are always piercing the clouds, man. Okay? The Lord is hearing our cries. He knows what we're about to go into, the troubles and tribulations, man. And again, it's about to be a cold, cold world, man. Yo, this shit definitely gonna come on a certain level. How hard is it gonna hit? That's gonna be on the Heavenly Father's time, man. Okay? But definitely stay prepared, stay warm, you know. If you're able to go to the store and go grab a couple of things, you know, keep yourself, you know, organized with something, man. So you don't have to be in that spirit of like, damn, y'all should have went to the store and grabbed me something. All right. It's okay to grab a little something and be prepared, man. All right. Because the Lord puts the spirit on you to do it anyway. You see? So that's pretty much the point, man. I just wanted to share that. Something that I was just thinking about last night. Heavy, you know, because it's definitely coming. All right. And we have to be prepared mentally just in case they do cut power out in this place, man. They cut out the lights. All right. And have you starving for a good, you know, 2 weeks, a week and a half without you being able to move. All right. Being able to go to the store. They hit you with these state of emergencies and you don't really want to drive in those times because you be the only dumbass pretty much driving. The only people that are going to be out is going to be the people from the roads, public works, you know, trying to clear out the roads. And even them, they don't come out until the storm is finished. So if the storm is going, nobody's going to be around, you know. So be prepared for those things and keep yourself prayed up, you know, that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai protect us and, you know, preserve us in those times, all right, when these things hit. So I'm going to leave it at that through the spirit. Lord willing, you were edified. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloim La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who grew well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing, that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. Keep fighting the good fight of faith, enduring as good soldiers of Yahweh Shai. You sisters continue to learn the silence, watching the true men of the Lord, keeping yourselves prayed up and constantly praying that this place go soon, a Bible ball soon. Shalom, Sister Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Barakatah.